Hi, my name is Andrea. I am from Sweden and I came to Bali 11 years ago now, going on 11. And I came here to teach yoga and to change my city life to something greener and healthier. And I have a brand called Samadhi Wear. It's yoga wear mainly. We also do some casual stuff, and everything I do is made from natural fibers. Everything is made in Bali. I work on a small scale, so I don't keep stock and all of that. I produce on a smaller scale, and I also use natural dyes for my organic collection. I don't do everything organic because there is not security yet for organic materials to be available. So sometimes they're simply not there. So I try to make as much as possible organic, and I never dye anything with chemical colors. I do not believe we need to add to the pollution that is happening in the world, especially in the clothing industry. There's a lot of pollution going on that maybe most of us are not aware of, and I wasn't until I started investigating. I follow a concept called SlowFashion, and it's pretty much what I mentioned before, like working on a local market, employing local people, as well as working with sustainability. And slow fashion also means slowly producing, especially in Bali. So patience is a virtue. Why I do this is because personally, for me to wear synthetics in general, it just doesn't work. I've been given yoga clothes to wear, which sits really nice and tight and all that. Makes you look great. But I feel like I'm trapped in a plastic bag, like I can't breathe. And so for me, it's just a natural choice, though for sure most people want to have lycra and all this nylon stuff because that's sportswear, and when they sweat it doesn't stay in the material and all the rest of it, and for sure that sells more. But I'm not really doing this to make money. I mean, sure, I want to be paid for what I do, but it's not my main income. It's not my main purpose. My main purpose is more in education. So I'm a yoga teacher, so I guess it comes along with that as well. And trying to educate people. The more I read about fabrics and synthetics, the more apparent it is to me that it's actually really not healthy to wear synthetics directly on the body. So the studies that they're making at the moment is showing that microplastics are being shedded not just from plastic bags in the ocean, but also from clothing that we're wearing. So it sheds to the body, which then blocks the pores, and so which makes sense that I don't feel like I can breathe. But also when you wash the clothes, it goes into the water, so it sheds into the water. So it's quite a big problem that I don't think enough people talk about. And it's all great that we recycle fishnet or we recycle plastic bottles, but actually to wear all that is not something natural at all. And so I feel, I'm not here to lecture people, but I'm here to give that information, share the information that I found. And also on another scale is the fair trade. I believe in working on a smaller scale, produce what you actually sell, not produce like some of these massive big chains that then end up burning up the clothes because they don't know what to do with them. And so yeah, and I really enjoy the process of working with my tailor, who I know the whole family, and it's just a connection that I had now for some years, and he's also involved in like the design. He comes up with ideas, and so he gets excited when he gets to say something, and so it's fun. So I want to keep it fun. I want to keep it creative and interesting and not like a headache. I have to meet some deadlines and I have to ship to I don't know where. And so I really decided to try to keep it as it is, quite small scale. So when I think inspirationally, it probably started from home. My grandmother was a knitting master, always sitting in front of the TV knitting, not even looking at it. And then I learned from her, and I learned how to make my own clothes as a kid. And so I think it started from there. But then I think the biggest influence was probably when I was living in Barcelona. So in Barcelona there was a lot of little boutiques and a lot of artists making their own things. And so that was probably a big generator of it. And then also traveling and seeing people making things and understanding that there's very little appreciation for handcrafted art, I would say. I don't think people understand how much work goes into it, and I'm a little bit fearful that some of this art will die because there's not a generation to take over. Like there's very little interest to take over because people don't want to pay the prices that it costs. Someone making a pashmina shawl, it actually can take more than a month to make it by a professional who is used to doing what they're doing. And then if you think about it, like everything that goes into that, making a stand for creativity, for artisan that is working and still creating with their hands and not letting the machines take over. Nothing can replace the work of hands and the love and the tension that goes into it, really. So I feel that it's the driving force behind it, as well as staying creative. And I always liked clothes since I was little, so I guess I just realized my dream to become a designer. but yeah, so I do try to use natural fibers. So that is also made all here in Bali. It's all really old-fashioned, big drums where fire is underneath it, and you're like there steering it, and every piece is unique. There's not one piece that is the same as the others. So it's artistic as well. So yeah, that's my journey, and I hope that people can catch on to this and really support a way of how we live in this materialistic world today, and how we consciously purchase what we need and what is good for us, and that we pay attention to where does the stuff we get come from. Who makes it? Where is it made? And what did they use to make it? Who's behind it? And I think these are questions we need to ask in every sense, whether it's clothes, whether it's food, whether, I don't know, everything really. And just maybe start to say no to people being abused and being exploited as they are. When you buy something that costs very little, maybe you should question why it costs so little. What has the person been paid to make it? And what is the company making who are selling it, etc. I mean, these are questions I ask, and sure, we're all being caught in the rat race and the materialism and are, to a certain extent, still. I'm not innocent. I don't want to be hypocritical in any way, but I do believe that little steps make changes. We have to start from somewhere, and then the ripple effect from there gets to the larger scale. Thank you.